We've got the Hotone Ampero 2 stage on the bench today. I've put together a preset pack for this unit that uses some of the built-in amps and effects, along with my free cabinet IR and some tone catches that I've made, both on the Ampero and using the recently launched NAM, or Neural Amp Modeler, import function on here. That came out with a firmware update not too long ago, where essentially you can take an existing Neural Amp Modeler file and have the Ampero create one of its tone catches based off that file. It's a pretty straightforward setup to do with the software, but today I just want to showcase some of these tones. If you want to grab this preset pack, it is available from my Gumroad store. It's linked in the video description. This is also available to all of my patrons as well. To everybody who supports me over on Patreon, I cannot thank you enough. You make it possible to do what I do on this channel. You keep the lights on, you keep my cats fed and happy as well. So let's dive into some of these sounds. This preset is probably the one I've been playing the most, and the layout is fairly straightforward. It is a clone of an amp and a cab together for a big high gain chunky sound on there. Then I've added the ability to add a dual detune and a stereo dual delay on there. This dynamics block at the start is acting as a gate. I think the gate is really good and really easy to use in the Ampero 2. And then I've got a little bit of reverb on there just for some ambient. So I've organized this into 5 scenes, which are mapped to the foot switches. Let's hear them. Along similar lines, I have used a tone catch that I made of one of my Marshalls for a big crunchy sound. Let's have a listen to the scenes on there. There are more effects added to this. There's a couple of different delays, and I have to say I'm so impressed by the modulation, reverb, and delay section, in particular on the Ampero. The fact that they have things like 2290 delay models, vintage rack delay models, BBD and analog delay models available as stereo and mono versions, a really well functioned dual delay as well, and a whole bunch of like fun experimental and glitch modes, along with the high quality reverbs in there and just about any modulation effect. that you would want and I would want. Like there's a Dimension chorus, there is an Arian stereo chorus model in there. There's so much good stuff. There's a tri-chorus if you're into the 80s tones, which we'll hear in a little bit. But on this one, yeah, again, this is this Marshall clone or tone catch that we've made in here. Basically pretty dry to start off with, then we add some more effects. When Neural Amp Modeler first launched, my buddy Roman Asafis helped me capture my Boogie Mark IV. So I've taken that LT Mark IV Neural Amp Modeler capture and imported it into the Ampero 2 using the software. It has converted it into a tone catch clone on here. I have added my free IR to this, and there's a little bit of detune, and as always, a big greasy delay on there. This one sounds nice and chunky. I built this preset around a clean tone catch clone on here. There is a really lovely cloud reverb from the reverb block and some more time-based effects on here. Furthermore, as we heard in the intro, one of these scenes uses a 4-second delay in there, so you can trigger some sound-on-sound looping possibilities. That preset is so much fun, and you can combine it with the looper on here as well to really go crazy with some ambient stuff. I also created some presets just using the built-in amp models on here. So this is using the Hotone JCM 800 model in here, and the clones or the tone catches are pretty CPU intensive. They're really good if you've got a piece of gear you want to capture and add some basic effects to, but if you wanted a more fully featured preset, the way to do it would be to use the built-in amp models. These are all using my free cab IR. If you don't want to go and buy the presets, you can still get the IR by clicking the link in the video description. Let's have a listen to this 800. Again, I've got a bunch of different effects on here and basically 3 different lead scenes with different variations on the delay. There's just some of my favorite delay sounds in here. I, of course, had to make use of some of the big, greasy, distorted amps like the SLO, the Bogner Ecstasy, and the John Petrucci Mark Series signature amp in here. I'll just give you a quick blast with all of those, then we'll hear some cleaner and chimier sound. Now with that Bogner Ecstasy preset, there is one of my favorite delays in there. It's the ambience mode in the delay block. There's actually two versions in there. And to my ears anyway, it sounds like they have based them off the Lexicon PCM70 circular or pan delays. They are delays with some really lovely fluffy diffusion on there. We also heard the tri-chorus on there as well, which is a great effect. Again, I love that they've got a tri-chorus, a dimension, a CE1. The people who made this are clearly fans of the big 80s greasy tones, and I approve. Let's hear, I think this is the matchless model in here, if we take a look at it. I've got this one again with my free IR. Yep, match 30 clean. There's some tremolo, there's a couple of different delays, including a vintage delay before the amp block if you want to do that U2 style dotted eighth rhythmic delay effect. There's a whole bunch of other goodies in there, including an effects-only preset that I've put together with some parallel paths. You could use this in the effects loop of an amplifier, you could use it with a mixer and a rack setup, or you could use it to complement another modeler or a capture player if you wanted to do that. There's also a Rockman-style preset and a few dual amp presets that you can use as templates in there. Again, these presets are linked in the video description if you want to grab them. They're available for my patrons. And if you just enjoyed the tones in the video and you want to check out some music featuring a whole bunch of the stuff that I played in today's video, you can check out the Ragdoll discography using the link in the video description. Until next time, be well, go make some glorious guitar noises, and I will see you then. Cheers.